I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family.
Kody Brown might still be holding on to his ego, but allegedly, he's let go of something far more valuable, his Arizona mansion. Yep, rumors are swirling that the sister wives patriarch is officially in financial freefall, pawning off parts of his prized Flagstaff property just to cover back taxes.
We had the 4 homes together. Everything was going along smoothly. Maddie and Caleb were around, and it was great having them around.
And let's be real, if you've watched the last few seasons of Sister Wives, this isn't a twist. It's a reckoning, because the man who once flexed polygamy, power, and sprawling real estate like some sort of patriarchal real estate tycoon may now be facing the one thing he never saw coming: being broke in full view of the public. Allegedly, Kody's been juggling overdue bills, mounting debt, and tax notices that just won't disappear. And while he's busy giving confessionals about loyalty and betrayal, fans have been zooming in on property records. And what they're finding isn't pretty. Quiet title changes, payment delays, signs that something is off with the home he once called a symbol of unity. Except now, that symbol might be all he's got left. Because when your TV family leaves, your kids stop filming, your audience checks out, and your cash dries up, suddenly, that mansion starts looking less like a triumph and more like a liability. And here's the real kicker. Sources say this alleged financial unraveling isn't just about bad luck. It's about decisions. Kody reportedly spent years funneling TLC checks into one household while alienating the others. He burned bridges with Janelle, Christine, Mary, and their exits didn't just cost him relationships, they cost him storylines. And in reality TV, no storyline means no screen time, and no screen time means no money. So now, with only Robin by his side and no wives left to blame, the bills are catching up, and that Arizona dream house, it might be Kody's last bargaining chip. Or worse, the clearest proof that the empire has already fallen. Let's rewind to when that Arizona mansion was Kody Brown's pride and joy. Remember the aerial shots? The sweeping porch? The views of the mountains he used to brag about? That house wasn't just real estate, it was symbolic real estate. In Kody's mind, it was the physical proof that his lifestyle was working. That even with all the drama, even with the cracks starting to show, he could still say, "Look what I built." But now, that once glorified fortress is allegedly at the center of a quiet financial collapse, and the walls may be closing in. Rumor has it Kody's been moving pieces behind the scenes. And by pieces, we mean pieces of the property. The mansion, once considered his kingdom, may be getting carved up, either refinanced, partially sold off, or used as collateral to cover the growing stack of tax obligations. Nothing flashy, no big announcements, just quiet transactions and hushed changes in county filings. And it's not just gossip. Fans with a sharp eye have started digging into public records. They've pointed out delayed property tax payments, mysterious shifts in how the home is titled, and signs that something's seriously off with Kody's hold on the place. It's the ultimate irony. The man who once paraded his square footage like it was a badge of honor is now allegedly treating that same property like a pawn shop item. Gone are the days of grand plans for a massive shared home on Coyote Pass. Gone are the dreams of building a sprawling family complex where everyone had a wing. The truth? Kody couldn't even keep his current home from allegedly becoming a financial burden. And while Robin still lives in what fans call the palace, that palace may be sinking under the weight of debt. Behind closed doors, sources claim there's tension even within Robin's camp. She's not immune to the financial stress either, because when the main provider starts pawning assets, nobody's security is guaranteed, not even the favorite wife. And if this Arizona mansion really is being used to pay off overdue taxes, it could mark the beginning of the end. Not just for Kody's financial stability, but for the illusion he's fought so hard to maintain. The illusion that he's still in control, still the head of a household, still the king of anything. If you want to know what's really going on with someone's finances, forget the show, follow the paper. And fans of Sister Wives have done exactly that. Over the past several months, online sleuths have been combing through public property records in Arizona, and what they're uncovering paints a very different picture than the one Kody's been trying to sell. We're talking overdue taxes, payment delays, and property liens that have fans raising eyebrows and asking, is Kody Brown secretly drowning in debt? One of the biggest red flags? Allegedly, there have been multiple late property tax payments on the Arizona mansion. Delays that suggest cash flow problems even as Kody kept filming and claiming everything was just fine. And sure, missing a payment or two can happen, but the pattern here tells a different story. These weren't just late fees, they were warning signs. And now, fans believe Kody may be taking desperate measures to get the state off his back, liquidating equity, quietly transferring ownership stakes, even using the home as leverage for fast cash, all to avoid the embarrassment of a full-on foreclosure or tax seizure. And let's not forget, this isn't just about one house. This is a man who once tried to juggle 4 separate households, all while maintaining the image of a provider, a leader, and a spiritual husband. But now that Christine, Janelle, and Mary have all walked away and the kids have stopped showing up for taping, Kody's actual assets are under scrutiny, and suddenly it looks like there might not be much left. The empire he spent years building? It could be paper thin. What's wild is that none of this would have come to light if the fans weren't paying attention. TLC has been suspiciously quiet. Robin hasn't said a word. And Kody? He's still trying to act like the drama is just emotional, not financial. But the tax records don't lie. If he truly was on top of his money, why all the movement? Why the missed payments? Why the whispers of desperation? Here's the thing. You can't sell a storyline forever. Sooner or later, the receipts show up. And in this case, they're showing up in black and white documents with overdue balances attached. Kody may be keeping up appearances on TV, but the state of Arizona doesn't care about ratings. They care about unpaid bills. And if the rumors are true, Kody's now scrambling to cover costs with the one thing he still has left, a house that no longer feels like a home, but like a bill he can't afford to ignore. For years, Robin Brown's house stood as the crown jewel of Kody's polygamous empire. While the other wives bounced between rentals and unfinished plots of land, Robin got the fortress, the spacious Arizona home, the so-called monogamy mansion. It was big, bold, and, let's be honest, completely symbolic. Because while the rest of the family dynamic crumbled, Robin's household remained insulated, or so it seemed. But now, with rumors of Kody pawning parts of the property to pay back taxes, fans are starting to ask a very uncomfortable question. Was any of it real, or was the opulence just a high-gloss illusion masking a financial crisis waiting to explode? See, that house wasn't just a home, it was a power move, a message. Kody's way of signaling that Robin was the one, that his loyalty, his money, and his future were all planted firmly under her roof. But loyalty doesn't pay the bills. And now, that very house, once a symbol of their dominance, is allegedly at the center of their biggest money problem yet. Because if Kody truly used it as collateral, or if he's scrambling to sell off parts of the land around it, then Robin's entire sense of security might have been built on borrowed time. And here's where it gets even messier. While Christine and Janelle were being told there was no money for building on Coyote Pass, Robin got the mansion. While Mary lived on the outskirts, both emotionally and physically, Robin got the comfort, the closeness, the keys. But if Kody was financially stretched even then, what does that say about his priorities? What was sacrificed to keep Robin living in style? Because let's be honest, when the show was booming, money was coming in. But instead of spreading it evenly, Kody seemingly poured it into one household. And now, with the show's momentum slowing and the family imploding, it's clear that gamble didn't pay off. Some fans speculate that Robin didn't know how bad things were, others think she absolutely did, and turned a blind eye. Either way, the illusion is cracking. The house is too big, the income is too thin, and the man she bet her future on, he might be mortgaging the very ground they're standing on. It's the kind of downfall that plays out in slow motion. You don't see it all at once, but you feel it. And for Robin Brown, the fallout may just be beginning. At one point, the Brown family was sitting on top of a reality TV goldmine. Multiple wives, dozens of kids, a unique religious angle, and an endless supply of interpersonal drama. Sister Wives wasn't just a show, it was a full-on franchise. TLC milked it for over a decade. And while exact figures are under wraps, industry insiders have long estimated that the Browns were pulling in anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 per episode at their peak. That adds up fast. So how did Kody go? From raking in potentially millions to allegedly pawning off his own house to cover taxes? Well, one word keeps coming up: mismanagement. Kody Brown has never been what you'd call financially strategic. From land deals that went nowhere to home building projects that never materialized, Kody's big ideas often came with even bigger price tags and very few actual results. Remember Coyote Pass? That giant stretch of land where he promised to build one giant polygamist house for everyone? Years later, it's still empty dirt and dashed dreams. Meanwhile, the bills didn't stop coming. And as wives started leaving and children stopped filming, the money started drying up, but the spending didn't. Add to that Kody's refusal to pay the kids for their on-camera time, according to Gwendlin and other sources, and you start to see the full picture. He wasn't just mismanaging money, he was reportedly hoarding it. The show was built on the backs of his children, but instead of creating financial stability for them, Kody allegedly funneled the income into supporting Robyn's household and his own image. No savings, no trust funds, just flashy real estate moves and luxury cars that didn't age well when the reality checks stopped coming in. And let's not forget the hidden costs: legal fees from divorces, travel expenses, supporting multiple adult children during a pandemic, and possibly even back pay on those taxes. It all adds up, but instead of downscaling or admitting financial strain, Kody doubled down on appearances. He kept posturing like the patriarch of a thriving kingdom, even as his empire was rotting from the inside out. Now, with Mary, Christine, and Janelle all gone, and the kids making it clear they're done being unpaid extras in his saga, Kody's income stream has reportedly taken a hit, hard. Because in the end, the reality TV money train doesn't last forever, especially when your cast walks out, your audience tunes out, and your house becomes the only thing left worth selling. There's something fans have been whispering about all season, but now it's impossible to ignore. The kids are gone. Not physically gone. Many of them are thriving, building lives far away from the chaos. But they're gone from the show, vanished from the confessionals, missing from the family events. And when they do appear, it's brief, it's distant, and it feels like they're doing it out of obligation, not interest. And that absence, it isn't just emotional, it's financial. Because here's the brutal truth Kody may be facing. No kids equal no storyline. No storyline equals no show. No show equals no paycheck. Think about it. For years, the kids were the soul of Sister Wives. Fans watched them grow up, fall in love, fight with their dad, cry over the divorce mess, and deliver the most honest commentary on what life in that family was really like. They weren't just background characters, they were the hook. But now, most of them want nothing to do with it. And according to sources, part of that is because they were never paid. They gave up their childhoods for the camera and walked away with nothing but emotional whiplash. Why would they come back? And without them, the entire structure of the show is crumbling. Kody and Robyn can only rehash the same "nobody loves me" narrative so many times. There's only so much drama in watching a middle-aged man spiral about his failing relationships with people who have already left. The real tension used to come from the kids, the awkward family meetups, the deep-seated resentment, the moments of accidental truth. With them gone, all that's left is a half-empty mansion, a tired storyline, and a man allegedly pawning his property to stay afloat. The irony? By refusing to pay his kids, Kody may have pushed away his last shot at keeping the show alive, because now the younger ones aren't interested, and the older ones have their own platforms. Gwendlin speaking out, Peden's posting. They're telling their stories on their own terms, and Kody's left with nothing but the echo chamber of his own denial. What started as a big polygamous experiment turned into a sinking ship. And with the kids off camera and the audience losing interest, it's starting to look like Kody didn't just lose his family, he may have lost the entire empire he built around them. While Kody's allegedly scrambling to save his home and his dignity, two of his ex-wives are out here thriving. Christine and Janelle may not have walked away with massive settlements or reality TV riches, but let's be clear, they walked away at the right time. And now, it's starting to look like the smartest financial move they ever made was leaving Kody Brown. Take Christine. She saw the writing on the wall years before anyone else did. She was the first to leave, publicly, boldly, and without flinching. And while fans were still wondering how she'd survive without the show, Christine was already securing the bag. She went full throttle on social media, partnered with MLMs, launched lifestyle content, even did cooking videos. Critics rolled their eyes, but Christine didn't care. She was building a brand, not just surviving the breakup. And guess what? It worked. She didn't just escape Kody, she built an entirely new fan base of women who were done watching her be mistreated and ready to support her independence. Then there's Janelle, always the quiet one, the logical one, the numbers wife. And when things got too chaotic, too expensive, too emotionally bankrupt, she dipped. No drama, no screaming match, just a clean break. She had already been living on the edge of the family setup, financially and emotionally. And while her exact finances are still private, it's been clear for a while that Janelle knows how to stretch a dollar. She didn't get the big house, the big storyline, or the big loyalty from Kody, but what she did get was freedom. And now that Kody's allegedly fumbling with overdue taxes and secret property shifts, Janelle and Christine are looking real smart because here's the truth. Kody's resources were never infinite. He spread himself too thin for too long, and instead of investing in each relationship equally, he consolidated everything around Robyn. The time, the energy, the money, and when Christine and Janelle left, they didn't just leave emotionally. They left financial deadweight behind. Now Robyn's stuck in the big house with the big bills, Kody's allegedly pawning his assets to stay ahead of the tax man, and Christine and Janelle, they're hosting Instagram lives, planning weddings, hanging with their grandkids, and let's be real, watching the downfall from a safe distance. It's the ultimate plot twist. The women everyone once thought were too dependent on Kody turned out to be the ones who didn't need him at all. If Kody Brown thought the drama ended when Christine walked out that door, he wasn't prepared for what came next. Because as messy as the breakups were, it's Gwendlin's voice that might be delivering the most damage now. Her interview with Teen Vogue didn't just shake up fans, it sent shockwaves through the entire Sister Wives universe. And if Kody was already on the verge of financial ruin, this new wave of bad press, it's like gasoline on a fire he's been trying to quietly smother. Gwendlin didn't hold back. She said flat out that she worked for the show for years and never got paid, not even minimum wage. She described growing up on camera as being under a microscope, with no way to have a hard day without it being turned into a storyline. She talked about emotional stifling, exploitation, and the constant feeling that her life wasn't fully hers. And the worst part? She says she didn't even have the choice to opt out, because as long as the adults had the contracts, the kids were trapped. And then came a deeply personal revelation about her identity. Gwendlin shared that during a producer interview, she was unexpectedly asked about being bisexual, something she hadn't planned to discuss publicly at that moment. She explained that the topic was brought up because her mother had already shared that detail with the production team. What was supposed to be a conversation about a sibling moving states suddenly turned into an incredibly vulnerable moment she hadn't anticipated. The discomfort and emotional weight in her retelling were unmistakable. And for many viewers, it didn't just resonate, it hit home. Now here's where the ripple effect really begins. The more Gwendlin shares, the more the whole operation starts to look like a house of cards. If she wasn't paid, were any of the kids? If her private life was mined for content, how many others were treated the same? Every new quote from her is a reminder that this wasn't just a quirky polygamist family with communication issues. It was a money machine built on unpaid labor, crumbling marriages, and, according to Kody's own daughter, emotional exploitation. The network might try to play it neutral. Kody might try to deflect or go silent. But Gwendlin, she's not just venting, she's documenting, and fans are listening. She's peeling back the curtain on what it was really like to grow up in the Brown household under TLC's lens. And what she's revealing is making Kody look less like a misunderstood father, and more like a man who got rich off the backs of his own children, and never even thought to say thank you. For years, Sister Wives was one of TLC's crown jewels. It had everything: scandal, religion, family feuds, and the novelty of a man trying to juggle 4 wives without totally combusting. But now, even the network seems to be tiptoeing away. Ratings have reportedly dipped, fan interest has shifted, and TLC is facing a growing PR problem they can't edit their way out of. And at the center of it all is Kody Brown, a man who once commanded a full production crew and now looks more like the last man standing in an empire made of sand. The truth is, reality TV is a business. And when the business model starts leaking money, or worse, attracting bad press, the networks pivot fast. And Gwendlin's interview, along with years of mounting fan backlash, may have pushed TLC to its limit. They haven't made any dramatic statements. No flashy cancellations, but longtime viewers are noticing the signs. Shorter episodes, recycled content, fewer big moments, and more importantly, growing sense that TLC isn't interested in fighting to keep the Brown storyline alive, not when the golden age is clearly over. And let's be real, TLC knows how to cut bait. They did it with the Duggars, they did it with John and Kate, and if Sister Wives becomes more trouble than it's worth, they'll do it again, especially now that the central dynamic, Kody balancing 4 marriages, is gone. Christine left, Janelle followed. Mary was emotionally exiled long before her official exit. And the kids, they've either gone quiet or gone scorched earth. So what's left to film? Kody and Robin in a half-empty mansion discussing loyalty for the 17th time? Even the show's format has shifted. Where once we saw vibrant family events and multi-layered interactions, now we get confessionals stitched together with old footage and a sprinkle of new content. It's like TLC is keeping the lights on just long enough to say they didn't abandon the ship. But everyone watching knows the ship is sinking. And they're already scanning the horizon for the next cash cow. If TLC truly believed there was long-term value in Kody's story, we'd see it in how they promote the show, in how they structure the episodes, in the spin-offs, specials, reunions, and extended cuts. But right now, all we're seeing is slow detachment, like a network pulling off the bandage before they make the final cut. And if that happens, if TLC finally pulls the plug, it'll be the final confirmation that the Brown family brand has run its course. Not because polygamy stopped being interesting, but because Kody Brown became unwatchable. And no amount of Arizona real estate, dramatic voiceovers, or slow-motion arguments can fix that now. So here we are. Over a decade since Sister Wives first aired, Kody Brown now stands where no reality star wants to be. Alone, exposed, and allegedly flat broke. The man who once boasted about managing 4 wives and nearly 20 kids is now, according to swirling reports, pawning off the only real asset he has left, the Arizona mansion he once treated like a throne. But this isn't just about losing money. It's about losing everything he built that money on. The family, the show, the audience's sympathy. It's all crumbling. The symbolism is almost poetic. That house was supposed to be the new beginning, the dream estate, the final act in Kody's polygamous vision, but instead, it's become a monument to everything that went wrong, a monument to favoritism, to mismanagement, to the relentless chase for control. And now, if the rumors are true, it's also the thing he has to sacrifice to keep from drowning in debt. He built his kingdom out of wives, children, and camera crews. And now, all of them are gone. What's left is one mansion, one marriage, and one increasingly public fall from grace. Because when your own daughter is doing interviews about unpaid labor, when your other kids have gone silent or independent, when 3 of your wives have walked out and the 4th is allegedly trying to hold it all together, what kind of legacy is that really? And when the network that made you famous starts fading you out, what's your next move? Kody's options are shrinking fast. The fans who once laughed at his antics are now just watching in disbelief, asking, is this karma or is this just the natural outcome of a man who thought control and charisma could carry him forever? Whatever it is, one thing's clear. Kody Brown's image as the confident, composed patriarch is shattered. He may still have Robin, he may still have that house, for now. But the money, the brand, the power, gone. And if he really is pawning off his mansion to pay taxes, then the final chapter of this story won't be written by TLC. It'll be written by county records, by headlines, and by the kids and women who finally walked away. So what do you think? Is Kody's financial collapse just the tip of the iceberg? Or has his fall from grace been years in the making? Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next video on your screen is waiting, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming next.